Hi folks, Terry Brown here, and I want to thank you so much for checking out this video today. Do me a favor, just take a few moments just to look at this beautiful site. Take a mind excursion just for a moment. I've got some very powerful information I want to share with you today in this video. I'm entitling this The Meaning of Life, because I want to share with you how I began to discover a wonderful life in the personal growth and development field. Okay, so let's go there. Okay, when I was a child, I went through some very traumatic experiences, and I guess I didn't understand what was happening. Okay, and just being called names, and all I wanted to do was have fun. I enjoyed being around people, but ended up as I said, being called all kinds of crazy names. Wanted to go to camp, people calling me names, all kinds of stuff. So had a negative impact on my life. Okay, so I want some, so inside my home, everything was great. Outside the home, people were very cruel, even adults. Okay, so the things that were happening into my life that way began to magnify in my life. Okay, and all the negative things that were current in my life were just added on to all the negative stuff of my past. And so I was in this terrible place, okay, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, etc. Okay, so here I am in my early 20s. I was about 23, and a friend came over to my house, and he brought a series of cassette tapes over to the house. Okay, and the tapes were on personal growth and development. And I think my friend he actually was selling those tapes at the time, but he never really tried to sell me the tapes. And I knew it was an intervention, a divine intervention for me. So he left the tapes with me for about 2 weeks, okay, before he came back to get them. But by that time, man, I had devoured those tapes. Back in those days, that's what we had. We had cassette tapes, okay? And so I just began to listen to the tapes, man, and I tell you something, my life really began to change really quickly, because there were some things he was saying that I did not understand what was going on, okay, in my life. I knew I was struggling with some things. And but a long story short, the presenter of those tapes, or the guy that was speaking on the tapes, was a man by the name of Paul J. Meyer. Okay, and he was the president and founder of Success Motivation Institute. All right, and that's why I call my conference calls Success Motivation Conference Calls, because of the impact that those tapes had on my life in my early 20s, when life was very difficult for me. Okay, and I knew that what he was saying on those tapes was for me, and it was about me, and he was letting me know that I did not have to stay the way I was. I had learned from those tapes, okay, that I was living by the opinions of other people. My goodness. Yeah, because I always wanted approval. If somebody had an opinion about me, I wanted to change my life. You understand what I'm saying? And so I would always live by other people's opinion. It was messing my life up. I was allowing other people to define for me who I was. Okay. And I was living my life based on how I was feeling. Oh my goodness. And I was feeling miserably. By the time I had come to this place in my life at age 23 years old, I was living absolutely, I was feeling rather, and living, but I was feeling miserably about who I was, okay? I was living my life based on how I saw myself, and I was not looking very well to me, all right? Okay. I was believing false things about who I was, and all this, was related to the way that I received things as I was a child growing up. Man, it was tearing my life apart, and I learned that my self-concept, my self-image was distorted. Okay. And as a result of all those things, I began to put self-imposed limitations on myself. I allowed other people to place limitations on my life. Oh my gosh, man, if you're letting people, put things on you, please don't let that happen to you. Okay. And I was operating in self-limiting and self-defeating attitudes and behaviors. And I remember really quickly, I remember I took a job as a salesman. I don't know why I took a job as it was a coffee salesman. Well, they were paying me a salary and commission. Okay. But I was so bad when it started raining outside, guess what? I couldn't go outside. I could not go outside. When the skies were gray, I could not go outside. Why? Because I felt it, man. And it was a horrible, horrible place to be in. No, man, when you're going through stuff like that, it's just bad. Okay. And so what happened to me? This is what happened to me. I had experienced, about age 20, age 21, age 19, I had experienced some setbacks in my life, some rejection, some disappointments and temporary failure in my life. And this is it. Look, I did not know how to deal with them. I did not know what to do. Okay. I didn't have the strategies for dealing with the disappointments and the temporary failure in my life. Okay. What should have happened to me, what should have happened to me was, if I had temporary failure, then I should have been able to learn and grow from that. But what I did, all the things that were going on in my life were translated in my brain, in my thinking, that I was a failure. Okay. And that's how I began to operate in life. I began to operate in life that I was a failure, and all the other setbacks and disappointments and rejection that I had during that time was compounded in the way that I was feeling about myself. To say that I was a mess is an understatement. To say, oh my gosh, and I didn't know how I was going to come out. But I want to say this, that it was through personal growth and development that I began to see these things, and I began to change my life immediately once I realized what was going on. And I was able to change my self-image because I changed the picture of myself. You can't change your self-image because of willpower. You've got to change the picture of who you are. And I want to say this to those of you who may be listening. Okay. See, if you failed at something in life, guess what? That doesn't make you a failure. What makes you a failure is when you stop, when you quit, when you stop trying. Okay. If somebody had told me this back then, if I knew this, that many successful people failed many times before they became successful. Think about that. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have developed that failure image. Okay. And so once I learned that many successful people failed miserably in the beginning of things that they were working on and doing and trying and so on and so forth, but they kept moving forward, kept going on. They didn't quit. Oh my goodness, if I knew that back then, I would have got it a little bit earlier, but I got it anyhow. Okay. Now look, that's it for this message, but I do want to say that, introduce you to Genusity, our incredible business opportunity, amazing products, amazing comp plan, amazing everything. And so I'm going to leave the link so you can get signed up and learn about my success motivation calls and all of that stuff. So there you have it. I'm Terry Brown. I'm wishing you a blessed and wonderful day today. And hope to see you on the inside real soon. Bye-bye now.